Any problem with that idea? Look out on the ground. Sure. How's everybody doing? Read. Ball. Give me ball. Give me ball. Give me ball. No ball. I know you tell my dog to stop. I know you start Good. Hey, we're gonna stop by for a little bit when we get a chance. We have to go pick up Josh here at 10:30. Sure. I'm tying that loose. I tied it myself. It's really hard. So what do you need me to do? I tie it. Just untie it. Right, 1 minute. Okay, don't worry now, okay? You don't want it tight, right? Okay, so you want it right where I'm going to put it. Right there? We'll tie it. Right there? Got it? Sounds like a typical woman. Nope, you're tight enough. Not tight enough. Oh, stop. You're hurting me. Too short. Take it out. Take it out. I got to bleed. Tight? Yeah. Here. I ain't tied it just in 30, 41 years. I'll be 61 next month. Oh, you found me, huh?
Yeah. I had to pick up fast.
What happened?
I broke the couple months.
Big gun. That's why I left the car lights on, because I think you know what I'm at. Because I beat. And I waited. We gotta take a let me come down here for a little bit, because I want to go see. Pick up Josh here. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Sabrina.
Yeah, I put my finger.
Yeah. Same thing you do with my daughter. Yeah, I kids to make it better. Dummy. Yeah, big dummy.
I haven't done midnight to go home.
Why?
Good.
That's what he told you midnight? Oh well. Yeah, good enough.
He doesn't matter what time I go home. I go home.
You told him that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said what?
He said don't turn into a pumpkin.
Well, that means don't be out long.
Yeah.
So then he needs 12:31 to be changed.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that is that long. So I got to take him.
Yeah.
Josh, I got to run him to his house after we pick him up. And then he's coming in. So,
I watched the frame. And she said when you break it down, there's like there's rubber.
I know that.
Yeah.
I always know.
I was she tried to talk about it.
Well, I thought of her, she might call me, and I'm sitting in the car looking, and she's still like, she didn't bring me no weed.
No.
That's all right. Randy's got some weed.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I know you do. Yes. Got some weed. Well, no, I need to get a little bit from it. Oh. And I'll replace it. I don't have it. I'll say, because I'll replace it tomorrow. I've got some coming. I don't have it. Yeah, you really have it.
Everybody's smoking hash.
Yeah, I don't mess with that.
Hash is the black stuff.
Yeah. See, that don't have my back at all. Yeah, I'll get some tomorrow and I'll bring you some.
Then you go for the leg of his hard hat. That'll come out like white because it's got heroin.
No, I don't fuck with that. But I'll have some tomorrow and I'll bring a little bit. I'm just waiting for my pickup. Okay. This is the good homegrown stuff.
Okay, anyway, here. We got shrimp cocktails,
Let me sell.
shrimp sauce, shrimp
So try one or two.
booze with it. I got now. We got a couple beers. Do you want a beer?
I've got a mixed drink right here.
Beer?
Yeah. Now, Jessica might want a beer. But the only thing is, I want to stop back after I go pick up Josh. You remember Josh, right, Randy? I'm going to pick up my stepson here at 10:30.
Right here. Some cocktail sauce.
There's cocktail sauce.
And then, here.
Yeah, I got to pick my stepson up here at 10:30. He works other stepson's in jail where he belongs. He just got locked up.
Oh.
I hope they keep him for a while. His wife's grandmother charged him with assault. He didn't do it, but that I do know. But they got married on the 27th of last month. When she find out, oh shit hit the fan. Because they got a restraining order on her already. So she figured, okay, now I'm going to get him back.
But it sounds like
Yeah. Yeah, that's how she is.
it sounds like Romeism. Never go home around. You know, the only thing we got to do is domestic in this town. As long as they run around with domestic fucking all day, all night.
You sure, man? Not like that. I gotta go to his house.
That's about used and wrong. Domestic
Sabrina. Every Friday night, Rocky said, no, you never come over. Why? Anyhow, I forgot your name. Gary. I'm
Thank
Larry.
you.
Rose, I'm Larry.
I'm Jessica.
Jessica, that's my neighbor. Next to me, I'm in number 12. She's in 11.
I'm his stepfather.
That's my stepdaughter that I got 20-some years ago.
28 years ago.
I didn't know it was that long. And of course, my wife will be 65 next Saturday, and I'll be 61 September 9th. My granddaughter will be 11 on September the 11th, 9/11. But they live in California.
I just went to see, 2 years ago, my very first great-granddaughter. And I just got another great-granddaughter since.
Wow, have you seen that one yet?
I don't got any
great-grandkids that I know of yet, but my
Two different grandsons,
something like that.
married, both had girls. I think the one is back pregnant again, so she's going to have one more.
One more. What the hell? Why not? Why not?
Yeah, so I called my son about once a month and he told me Well, at least do the 4.
So-
I think the Ren and Stimpy's on that 64.
Anyway, so yeah, Jim Morrison and Pam. Jim Morrison went. Pam died with a broken heart. Right? Anyway, thanks for coming, Bruce.
Pam Morrison, his wife. you're talking
Yeah,
about.
his wife, Pam Morrison.
Yeah, she died in the mid-70s.
Yeah. Now the other, the news lady girl,
Like that. We only listened to part of this one time. Like whoever the Deadhead papers are, it's their favorite version of these songs. They go all the way to 1995. They just,
yeah. See how? Watch what he did. See, he says he'll come back, but watch, he won't. That's okay. This is how we find out who a real friend is. The real friend is, oh man, you know we have a little bit of company. Friday cake. And we got stuff to promote. Conversations with people who talk about other people and have meetings. An opportunity to meet people to get involved and tell people about the Space Association and share details about my research discoveries. But aren't really discoveries. I just took what was already done and put it together in a way that makes sense. See, the Roswell craft, the way it worked was, because the fluid gyro thing, once an object is set into motion, if it's like a bunch of rocks being set around a centrifugal zone, okay? Along the centrifugal zone, it's like a gyro, but the rocks are not locked into that gyro. If you move the whole centrifugal zone, the rocks, the whole thing will act it will act not in the normal procession of the gyro. What will happen is the rocks will try to escape from the gyro. They will try to follow the linear path, which is known as the Coriolis force. Coriolis force is responsible for something called the Coriolis effect, which is a thing that happens in artificial gravity. That's the thing about the artificial gravity space station. That's why the thing needs humongous. I think we should start with two things. Two blocks about the size of this house, which is like equivalent to a double wide motor. With the building, side building, and the porch, it's a double wide. Right? Basically. Maybe a little extra because that side, that outbuilding. The outbuilding set off from the other building, so it's not as big as the two. So that gives it the same room, the same feet as a double wide motor. Double wide motor. And then you spin the thing. You put the thing where it's spinning long way. So the floor, the short side of the floor can be the floor with the arm. And you divide the rooms up to about that size. That would be about the maximum room size. That way the floor, see how this table's set? It's the last table. It's missing all the little pads in here. That's supposed to hold it in alignment. Okay. Well, see this glass table, you look at it, you can see how it sags. You can see that we're within a millimeter from one side of the trailer, it's one side of the pod, we'll call it the living space, to the other. The floor would sag only a millimeter. Okay? You know what that is in diameter? It's like 1,000 kilometers. It's huge. Oh, it's bigger than that. 5,000 kilometers. Just roughing the math in my head here, it's like 5,000 kilometers radius. That's huge. But we start the space station with 2 pods. Put them out there, connect them with a couple cables. They need to be connected with like 4 cables so they stay in alignment with each other. So they don't twist about. Because the idea then is to start building on those cables to pull structure in and build a framework for those 2 primary pods. And then guess what? Just build right off of that with another one attached to it. And on the other side, so it's balanced, you gotta do 2 at once. Send 2 up there, same size as the trailer, another living space. Bang, bang, attach them side by side. And then you do 2 more and you make an I-beam thing out. Okay? And then you can do a couple more up to the limit of what your structure will hold. Of course, you can put guy wires to the main trussel. You follow me, right? You're an engineer. I guess you have some knowledge of engineering, right? Okay, so I'm just approaching this as an engineer, how to build it. So if I, had basically, the trussel needs to be once the 2 pods by their weight are supported in weight, the cables need to be strong enough to where they will hold the 6 pods all together. 6 radius. You could go maybe attach 3 on each side, so you have to put another trussel. But the same guy wires, cables that you use, that you come off the radius, how you do it, you attach 1 and 2, then you put a guy wire. Off the radius with a cable. Off the radius of your trussel with another cable. And also on the other side too. So now you have this thing out here. You have this thing. Okay, here. Imagine this is one mobile home, that's the other one. And I'm going to move this a little closer. I got this running. Okay, so we have rubber booms. And I want to do, it's getting late, I'm going to turn the music. Okay. Alright, so imagine that's actually I got a better here, yeah, I have 2 peonies. Okay. So the floor on each of these peonies, this is the size of a double wide mobile home. And you got another double wide mobile home. And we can to start the first thing, we can send them up together, we send them up separately. Send one up, park it out there in orbit. You wait a little while, send the other one up to time it so you can send it up there and then connect them together. And they're connect them together with cable winches. And you can put it out there with some control rockets on them. Each control in the end, so you can set them into spin. And all you got to do is set them into the appropriate spin that's going to equal the 1 gravity when they're all the way out. Anyway, so you give them that spin. So here they are doing this. Okay, that's all you need at that point to just loosen the winches and let the winches pull, or the spools. It wouldn't even have to be winches because they're only going to be done one time. They're just cables on spools. You connect them together, and then you let the centrifugal force pull it apart as it's doing this. And then it'll just keep doing this all the way till all the cables all run out, and then they'll be out at the diameter necessary, 10,000 kilometers or whatever. It could be bigger. There's no limit. However long length of cable you want to put in there, and you emphasize the cable by the length because the cable is going to add. As you add more cable, the cable weight is going to add to the centrifugal force of the cable's point, the center point of the axis. Okay, so you have to add enough cable. It could be multiple cables. It could be 10 different cables. 10 with as many as you need to hold the load. Can't say right now how big, because we don't know the weight of each. We don't know how much mass we're talking. But we know in principle this thing will work, right?
Yeah.
Stick it out there, spin it, centrifugal force pulls it out to place. Now you got this big thing spinning out there, right? Okay, so now how do you get on and off of the thing? Okay? Well, you go on and off of the thing at the center, at the radius. At the axle point. And you follow the radius to one part or the other. So that's where you start building this trussel thing. And you start sending parts up, and you just attach them to the cable. The first thing you do is you need the linears, and then you need the triangulated pieces that go between them. The first thing you do, you go up and you take these pieces and you set them up so you can hang them on these cables like a zip line. You don't need to have pulleys though. They just need to have a little ring so that follows that cable. You go right at the axis. You go in advance. You go in advance with the appropriate spin on your craft to match that axis and that radius axle point. To match that axle point in your spin. Okay, now you're spinning with it. Okay, so now you dock with that cable. You deploy your pieces. The first pieces that go on are all the linear pieces of the truss. And you send them down the cable. Send them down until they hit the end. You fill that cable up one way, fill the cable up the other way. Then go to the next cable, put in all the lengthies. And then you go along the way and you put in all your trusses. Why do you need those? Oh, because when you start adding modules, you want to be able to attach cables off to the radius out to the module to support the centrifugal force that it's going to pull. That's why you need a truss.
Makes sense.
Yes. Anyway, you go on about the process of sending modules up there. And as it goes along, you could have, each module needs to be a kind of self-supporting life support right at the beginning. It needs to be set up like its own little space station. Oxygen scrubbers, and all that. Basically life support on its own. So that each pod right out the gate, somebody could start living in it. Because right out the gate, somebody could start doing spacewalks, coming up the cables after the other pieces are in, and start bolting in the triangulates to get the first truss in place. Then after you've gone and you put in several modules, you build the trusses to those modules. Eventually, it's a big ring with trussels all the way across, all the way connected into the radius with a main hub. And it looks like a big bicycle wheel. Right? So think like that. Let's see this model. There's an excellent model. Bicycle wheel when it's all done. It's all done. It looked like that. Now what you could do from then is out here on the edge, that's all the one gravity zones. You got the next layer in. You come in later, and in between all the trussels, you could put second submodules for more rooms that are lower gravity, ultimately connecting them to the hub, where in the middle we have it all hollow. It can be hollow in the middle. zero gravity zone, where it's basically the zero gravity part, where you can go play in zero gravity without having to have a spacesuit on. And then, as it's all, basically we can skin it all the way to the hub, and make one giant enclosed capsule out of it. It's all done. And then you have room for, because some of the skin can be windows that look out towards the sun, and you put it in Lagrange 3. Lagrange 3 is opposite here tomorrow. Okay, so let's call that the space station now. And it's out here doing this. Okay? You do that. You give it just a tiny bit of a turn. And you send it around the sun. Lagrange 3 is opposite the Earth. Where we have the Earth out there doing this. We put space station out here doing this. Traveling to the space station from Earth, and in the process of building it, we do this. Okay? Well, to make it easier to build, right out the gate, we just do this. Like this. Easier to build than this one. See what I'm saying? Yeah. It's actually easier to maintain an orbit if the whole thing did that anyway. But we want it this way. Why? It's because we got the whole surface area, put solar panels on, and all that stuff. But no reason why it couldn't go this way. See, ultimately, once you get one of these, once you get the one bicycle wheel, you can add another one on the bottom. You can add another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and ultimately have that. You got bicycle wheels, and bicycle wheel, and bicycle wheel, and bicycle wheel. You got 10,000 room hotel, 100,000 rooms in zero gravity out of space. And then guess what? My hotel, you heard about that equation? Physics. And the physics thing, the Schrodinger's some postulates, okay. The infinite, the postulate, I'm sorry, not Schrodinger. Anyway, postulating the infinite. Okay? And the thought experiment involving an infinite room motel and an infinite number of guests. Right? But how do you handle an infinite number of guests? Okay? Well, we get an infinite number of rooms. Right? And an infinite number of guests. Well, one of the problems with it's just, there's one thought of it was if every guest just, if you arrive at the desk and every room's added to it, by the time a person gets to the end of the room, right, to the new room, right, he'd be 1,000,000 years old. You know what I mean? He'd be ancient. He'd be dying of old age. So anyway, so to solve it, you just simply bucket brigade everybody in the rooms. So everybody moves from one room to the next room over. So you add one room at the very end of the chain. The person that wasn't in the chain stays at the end of the chain. They just move over one room at the end of the chain, and instantly it opens up a new room for new guests. All right, so we can think like that. But I see out in space, you don't have to do that, and really an infinite room motel. But you think like that. You could just keep adding layers. You keep building onto it. You keep building onto it. You'd have this huge long cylinder eventually. And it could get bigger.
There's an Ace Hardware close by.
Well, you could have an Ace Hardware right in the place.
Yeah, but it's got to have supplies for you to be able to build it.
Well, see, that's the thing is that out in space, we have all the unlimited resources you'd ever want. come to us in the form of asteroids. They've become meteors and ended up as meteorites. If they make it all the way. You ever been hit by a meteorite?
Thought it was once, and I realized it was some good crime.
Oh! You ever been hit by lightning?
No, but I had an uncle that was struck twice.
Wow, twice?
And he got hit once in the shoulder,
Yeah.
and then he got hit in his keys in his pocket.
Yeah.
And it actually burned his house key into his leg. It was a trip. I told him, I said, dude, you ought to play the lottery.
Yeah, he ought to just stay away.
Survived getting struck twice.
Well, but he ought to stay away from thunderstorms.
Exactly.
It starts to rain, I'd be running. Like, uh-oh, it's raining, better go indoors. Right?
Saw this dude.
You see lightning on the horizon, it's get in the car.
On the helmet, he's right down there in Charlie.
Yeah.
Got hit in the back of the head, split his helmet right in two. The guy just kept right on riding for like another quarter mile. And just,
Oh, really?
he was dead as hell. You know, he just split the helmet off his head, lit everything all up, a little bit of smoke coming out of his hair. He just kept on going. I was like, wow. They had a big thing on the news about it. She was a trip. Lightning.
Yeah, you know that guy that got hit. He probably never knew he died.
Yeah, he probably never even knew. I couldn't imagine being hit by lightning. I got hit by 440 volts one time, and that was enough to tell me I wouldn't want to be hit by lightning.
Yeah.
That shit knocked me clear across the fucking room. I woke up, holding a piece of wire in my hand with smoke coming out of both ends and plastic glued to my finger. It was like, holy shit. First and last time I believed in electrician telling me the box was doing that. And I had to pull wires.
Yeah, sometimes they're human, see? They can be
Oh,
wrong.
oh yeah. That's why I usually carry a meter check, but I didn't that time. It's like, that's what happened. Oh no, it's dead. Because I had to pull a couple hundred pair of phone wires through some of their conduit. You know, through a box into another access.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that saved my life is the fact that this telephone wire was such a small strand and just pull it in two. I'm lost. It's like, fuck yeah, I'm alright, let's go back to work.
Anyway, I can see there, in order to have proper agriculture, in order to have a proper life in space, like we have here on Earth, we're going to need to be able to have normal agricultural activities, everything. It's going to have to be just like gravity. And our sun and our lights in our living quarters can be artificial. It will still be sunlight. So the sunlight we get will have to be. That's the whole idea of pointing it this way to the sun. Because that way you have that rotating surface to the sun. You don't have the suns can be doing flip-to-doos and upside down. You have constant sun coming at you.
Right.
You don't know the difference. You can look at the light coming in, and the light stays the same all the time. Now, what could be done would be this. Now, that's how to do it. You get it spinning like this for artificial gravity.
Get it open. I'm going to go up there and open up the window to you.
Okay. Now, here's what would happen. Okay. Here's our artificial gravity. And if you put a spin on it, in a precession, we have to do this. Do this rolling thing like this, right? And it would always be doing this. And the angle of the sun would be approaching the sun. So if you put just the right amount of precession on it, and you could get a day and night day.
Right.
You'd be doing this for your artificial gravity. You'd be gradually doing this precession thing. So the sun would show up over here for a while. The thing is that if it's at an angle, you know, your sunlight coming in through your normal window, you know, it'd be like a zoom, 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 zoom. You know, zoom. It'd make you sick. I see some problems. They got to be worked out. That's why it's like
why I'm
probably
the window tinting business.
the window tinting.
We'll solve that problem. Don't worry, man. It's just like living next to a strobe light. You can deal with it. You tint your windows, you'll never know. If you want, we'll tint them red, blue, and green, and now we can have flashing colored lights in your room.
Well, now that's an idea. Now, okay, that's an interesting idea. If they were not colored like sunlight, and you had them coming in through thermal, so you thermal controlled ducting, okay, arriving at a colored lens, it wouldn't matter if that lens goes on and off. It's psychedelic lighting.
Sure.
Wow, that's interesting. What an idea.
You only rent the outside room to acid freeze.
Actually, I think the way to solve it,
Drop some acid and watch the colored lights flash.
the way to solve it is with monitors, electronics. You let the sun just have no open windows.
Now, would you
The
want to live
outside-
in a house that you could never, the only time you could ever see the sunlight is through a damn monitor, or would you like to be able to get up, go outside and see the sun?
It would be nice to go get the sun through a window. But see, now that's where the I don't know, because that's interesting. I thought. See, it presents some problems. Okay, so for most of the time, could have a monitor, a couple monitors that act like outdoor windows that give you day and night, give you scenery, whatever. And that's what they do, is they just give you scenery.
Right.
And they're set up their scenery's time for day and night to give you a day and night view. You could pick an area somewhere on Earth, like the picture of my house.
Wake up in the morning and look out and see Dorothy's house flying by and the lady on the broom.
If you want.
We're not in Kansas anymore, so oh no.
Well, you can do that now. You can put that movie on. Take a clip out of that movie. Use screen capture. Put it in, get it, stream it, and then use screen capture to get that clip. And then you put that clip on loop. And then you just have it play over and over and over. And then you got Dorothy. You got the Wicked Witch flying by.
Yeah.
And the music to it. You gotta have the music playing.
Oh, absolutely.
I should do that. For one of the Friday mixers, just for fun, I should do that and have it, put a monitor out here and playing. I usually put it on a snap drive, So I've got some images stored. I'm storing them for somebody. Some of those TVs. They're older ones though, but they have the USB ports and stuff, And they're like a semi-computer, semi-smart TV.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just put one of those out here with that playing. That'd be great. That could be maybe the Halloween one. That'd be good for Halloween, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Yeah. For November. My birthday's in November. November 6th. And you know what we just knew? We were going to throw a party for you on August 1st. They were talking about it, and it never happened.
What happens on August 1st?
On August 1st, Jerry Garcia's birthday. Anyway.
Yeah, it took a little getting used to. I lived out there. Actually, not too far from where Maddie was. I lived up on the Murray, down by Linda. Linda's just a dirt road right there, and that's the desert. Really quiet.
It wouldn't be that hard to put a compound spin on a space station, a cylindrical space station would be that hard.
Right.
That represents a compound spin right there. It's doing this thing, tumbling while it's doing this. It's producing centrifugal force on its centripetal zones inside while it's doing this thing too. Now, so you want to simulate, you'd only have to do is out here doing this, and to get the light coming on the ends to to simulate day. You want to have this spin, so your one open window will end that fires into the whole down the channel way, down the whole thing. Has 12 hours of light. You know now. See, you change it up. You change up the spin.
But to get your flower to bud, get your bud to flower, or whatever you want to call it, get your plants to flower, you gotta have 18 hours.
Well, that's where you use the artificial light. Because in your pod, you could have a grow room. Sure, it'd be fine. Nobody would care. Because guess what? In your pod, well, you see, I figure it this way. You need your one gravity zone, and all your stuff you're trying to grow, whatever, it'll grow in more than one gravity.
Grow in zero gravity.
I don't know, it may not like zero gravity. But guess what? It'll probably grow hardier if you put it in gravity plus. Gravity plus means that in your floor, in your basement, your pod, you could add the basement. And every time you add a basement, a layer of basement under your pod, you can make your house bigger, and you get into a higher gravity zone. So your basement will be a percentage higher. You add another basement, you're at a percentage higher then.
Going downstairs is a pain in the ass. Going upstairs.
Yeah, no. The thing is, you'd be limited. Would be limited to how many basements you could add by how many other people are adding basements next to you.
Right.
So you know, and really, there'd have to be some rule where you'd only be allowed to add a basement
With
when
someone on the
everybody
other
else.
side.
Yeah, when somebody else is exactly opposite the other side's going to add a basement. Yeah, that would be the only option. That way, you never want your access point to be off balance. It would upset everybody else's gravity. Everybody else, you have a basement, and then you got that. Then all of a sudden it shifts the center of gravity somewhere off
No
the
water
axis,
beds allowed.
and then you got people. Then you got people that are 90 degrees of you that are experiencing a lot of Coriolis effect because of the warble it's going to create. Yeah, because they'd be going fast and slow again. They'd be going a little faster, a little slower. The gravity would be going up and then going up and down. They wouldn't be having a very good time.
Trying to brush your teeth. Yeah. No, that wouldn't be no fun.
The thing is that at a 10,000 kilometer diameter, you know, or bigger. I mean, bigger would be better. The bigger, the better, because that way the Coriolis effect is minimized. The Coriolis effect is psychological. So it happens because you're in here, and what happens is the well. It's because of the Coriolis force. So when you're in artificial, when you're in an artificial gravity environment, say you're, you know, follow the what is it? The wooden thing they do in Mexico, the motorcycle. They get in there with the motorcycle. Yeah, the ball. Well, they got the ball of death too. Well, you can experience the Coriolis effect in the ball of death. It's a tiny little radius. You're going around there 25 miles an hour, you know, which is not a lot. It results in about 1 RPM or so. It takes at least 1 revolution per second. In my little plastic whiskey bottle with the rock in it over there, but you can hear the rock falling up and down. Spin that wheel, you spin it till you don't hear the rock. It takes at least 1 revolution per second, or just under 1 revolution per second to get that rock to not fall no more, or to get it completely pin it where it's not shifting its weight, it shifts to the top and the bottom as it experiences gravity as it goes up and down. So it'll go flop, flop, flop. You can hear that actually going on too. That point is exactly where it's right at the top. You hear it go flip, 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 flip as it goes. Here it goes flip down as it's going up, and as it's going down, it goes flip like this because gravity pulls it down. Because the speed, the velocity that it takes to do that is less than 9.80556 meters per second. Squared if you're going one more meter. Anyway, yeah, so that's the thing is that when you're in the ball of death, you can feel, as you go around, you can feel the difference in your position from the radius, the center point of the pull of artificial gravity, the two wheels, and your body position of the bike, and your head position according to the radius. And you can feel the difference in force on your neck.
Yeah. That's how they know when to crack the throttle and when to back off the throttle. Because they only crack the throttle when they're on the bottom. When they're up on the top, they're backing off of it, just letting gravity's physical force, and they can feel that. They can feel it in their body when they know when it's time to hit the throttle. Because they're going so fast inside there, they can't see nothing. They're just going around. It's all by feel.
Well, you can see your other partners. You can see what's ahead of you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Anyway, now I thought about how cool it really would be cool. I'd love to do that stunt. I'd love to put on a music festival / stunt show. That so we got music, we got stunts, we can have acrobatics.
Show everybody what happens when a 2,500-pound race car tries to go 200 miles an hour.
2,500-pound race car tries to go 200 miles an hour around the ball of death. That's right. A 9.8-foot radius.
We're going to show you what happens. We're looking for volunteer drivers to sign the sheets over there.
I put that out on Twitter, Gary, and put a poll with 4 questions. One was A, the driver's fine. 2 was the driver smushed into the floor. 3 was the driver and the car are annihilated. And 4 was there's no driver that crazy. I got one response. They answered question 4. It's like, oh, by the way, whoever answered it, I want to meet you. Okay, come to my Friday mixes and we'll talk. Okay, but you're just smart enough to know. You're smart enough to answer my poll in the first place, and you answered it correctly. And that's why we need to have a face-to-face. All right, so I thought about how cool it would be in a stunt show to use the principle that my space motor runs on. Okay, my holy grail of propulsion figured out motor. Okay. Well, I told you about the desk clamp. I want to put it together. Recycle parts and making it available for people that donate like $50. But the stunt show I thought about would be to put together for the finale of the show. Right? It'd have to be pre-built. Huh? Oh, they are. So I would use that for the season, except it would be built with a little bit wider taper.
So to your glass.
And the input inside, yeah, well, that's too much. But anyway, the inlet of it would be set up just like that. Just so that it uses the same principle. Where it pulls it in from the bottom horizontally, accelerates horizontally, comes up here like that, and comes out. In the case of the jump, actually, it would come out this way, and it would come out from here. It would come out at an angle like that, and come out, and you'd have a jump here. So and it's jump, so you'd have an option to jump into a landing ramp, and come over another landing ramp, and it'd be set up so you'd have a line to follow. You'd come out to it. You'd be on that line. You'd be headed straight for the jump. As a matter of fact, the whole thing could be designed so that all the bikes, they run in a tramway and they just center. And and they just go. So it's like basically the riders, it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't even have to ride them. You could strap a frog onto the bike and the frog would do the jump. So just all figure it out with physics to be totally safe.
Right.
Especially if you use electric bikes, because that way you wouldn't have to worry about the gasoline engine failing, because gasoline engines fail.
Right.
At a moment's notice, the gasoline engine will go.
Yep.
And you know that. You've got enough mechanical knowledge to know that. I've busted my ass. We busted my ass when we were living the little Y-half that connects to our XX. We had that little Y-half on the outside. We did a lot of mechanical work. You bet. And we know. We've been driving a lot of years and traveled a lot of highway. And at a moment's notice, any gasoline motor can go. So that's why you don't want to use gasoline motors. But that's why they shouldn't use gasoline motors in the ball of death stuff. Because in the ball of death, if you're upside down, your gasoline motor, you're on your way up that, the gasoline motor quits. You don't have the velocity, you're going to head down, you head into the floor. Anyway, so this stunt, right? So they come in, and each jump, as it comes out of the jump, it comes down a track, it comes out and goes back into it. So you get 50 bikes running up this thing. So the entryway would be about the size of the ball of death, in the radius. So you'd enter it slow, and as you enter this thing, you accelerate. As you're coming out, you'd be doing 100 miles an hour. And you'd hit that jump, and you'd hit that jump, and you'd landing, come back down. You could have some other jumps on the landing ramp. Could have some of the jumps go up over the top of other things going on. The jump that comes out of the vortice thing. The model of my vortice accelerator, a large mass horizontal.
Right out front, a big sign says you must be this tall or that.
Well, yeah. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. See, if you had it all set up, if the thing was engineered design in physics, the bikes could just, could be set up. The bikes would just run the thing, just have them throttle up wherever they need to go. They come up and pick up the speed where they need to be. So, you can see, here's the thing. Now, depending on what that taper is and how wide, how it does it. See, when you go in, you're not covering as much territory. And as you come up, you gotta start speeding up, or else you stay down there. In order to get up there, you gotta accelerate. Now, here's the thing. If you just add acceleration, it's gonna go by itself. Because of something called the Euler effect, or the Euler force. I'll demonstrate the Euler force right here. Rocks, glass. Now accelerate the rocks. Because the thing that makes it work is the fact of being accelerated. Something that goes in. Not increase in velocity. It appears to. People think it does when the water goes faster when it goes down the toilet. Well, see, they think it goes faster. It appears to go faster. They think it goes faster. They do not know physics. Well, physics says, it does not go faster. It's the same velocity. Only difference is it's covering less territory. It's covering less space. So therefore, it appears to go faster. Its frequency goes up. Where it's going around to the top, where it's going around here 1 time a second, you go halfway down, if it's at a 45, for instance, it doubles. You go another double, divide the distance in half again. If it's 45, it doubles again. Right? frequencies are inversely proportionate to the circumference.
Yep. Well, I think I'm going to wander to the house and it's getting close to my bedtime.
Maybe you'd like to see this first. Hold on, just let me show you something. I made a model of it. I can drive with a drill. Look at her, she knows. She goes, oh, here's that thing that throws rocks again. I'm going to go hide. Yeah, she knows. All right, watch this. We're going to put this. I'm going to put this over here. Let's see. So I can show the camera. Show it on the camera. All right, that's good. All right. So this little conic. I gotta raise the camera position. You're holding your eyes. Yeah, you're right. We're holding your eyes. All right, here. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, demonstrating the uterus force. Oh yeah, actually, we do need the light on. Hopefully, it'll fly and bring the light. Sabrina, run. Here we go, Sabrina. All right, so here, let me one more demonstration. All right. So that is using horizontal angular momentum to accelerating material using horizontal angular momentum to elevate it in altitude with minimal reaction against the elevation. Okay? Reacts only a little bit. And then, as it happens, we are taking and converting that angular momentum into linear momentum as it escapes at the Coriolis force. That's the Coriolis force is the escaping of that into the straight line.
Right.
We talked about the Coriolis effect and the space station. That's the bobbly heaviness you feel in the ball of death, or in the other thing in New Mexico they do in the motorcycle.
Right.
No? Okay, so that's why space station has to be huge and humongous to minimize the Coriolis effect. Okay. In this case, the Coriolis effect is being used in our motor. This is representative of the accelerator that accelerates the magnetic fluid, the magnet powder, or the magnet ferrofluid that we're making from speaker magnets we're getting from Two Brothers John, which I'm going to want to help smashing them. Yeah, so much fun. All right, this represents the top, the dome, the part of it. This represents the tight radius on the top that does the work. Okay, as the matter comes out here, it comes straight out of here linearly and hits the centripetal zone, therefore then extracting the centrifugal force off of it. And then in the machine, in the motor, it comes down here slowly across a really wide radius. It's basically big pulley versus small pulley.
Yeah.
You know where belts wear out, always, they come apart when they get cracked. They come apart around the small pulley because there's way more centrifugal force there. The reason why a belt thing won't fly away is because by the time you take the big pulley and the small pulleys, the belt equals the mass all the way around. The big pulley, the sum of the centrifugal force that occurs on the big pulley, all because of all of the mass, equals the amount of centrifugal force through the whole machine. The net force is equal. Okay, so, but only because the mass is going around at the same velocity. So what's happening here in this machine, okay, it comes out of here, Coriolis force creates linear momentum from the horizontal angular momentum. It's converted into vertical angular momentum. Centrifugal forces subtract at that point. The conserved momentum is absorbed and used. So therefore the material slows down. We don't have as much velocity. Okay? Between two things with a wide radius and slower velocity, we achieve about a 200 to 300 to 1 ratio across one radius versus the other. Okay? That's what makes it work. Okay? Because it is a speed, we're talking about orders of magnitude of difference. Now here, before I do that, I want to show this. Where'd it go? I want to show what happens when there's no force pushing nothing in it. Okay? It's just going to fall off of it. Okay? Now, let's put some mass. Put some mass. Some motive mass. Okay? It went up. It didn't go up a lot because it kind of started to fall off too, because I don't really have a way to keep it on there while it's doing it. But it went up.
Yeah. Where you hiding from, Sabrina?
It works, Sabrina. It works. This is how it works. So what we need people to donate equipment. You know what I need? I need a laser cutter. Why? Let me show you this. Hold on, I've got to show you this. You know what this is, Gary? Here, let me hand you this. See if you can guess what that is. Anybody in the world should be able to guess.
Other than a piece of tin?
It's a piece of sheet metal.
Yeah.
From what? An old stereo.
Yeah, that's what I was
Here's the lid from an old stereo. It can be computers, washing machines, any flat sheet metal we can use, which we will do to cut the pole pieces from, to make the whole thing from. It's all made out of every single piece of this motor, besides the windings, the copper in the windings, made out of sheet metal, laminated.
Yeah.
Okay? Armature.
Sure.
All right. And then I'll show you. Oh, I showed you the stator before.
Yeah.
The crushed up magnet material, then blended with a lubricating solution, which is also part of the motive mass.
Preferably something with Teflon.
Yeah, Teflon. You know, it could be coated. You know, I'm not worried about. Well, you know, but see, because what happens inside when the material's moving, it's floating in there anyway because it's being turned by the magnetic field, by the electromagnets. So anyway, yeah, ultimately, the TVs. This is why the TVs count, because all of the deflection yokes is the source of magnet wire, and the electronics that drive them is the source of amplifiers to drive the coils.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So they're making it all out of junk, pretty much. But what we need, you know, somebody with a milling machine. What do you call that? It's a flat plate milling machine. basically like a router set up a pattern cutter. Or somebody that could donate their services. I can take and cut this stuff and prep it, or work it out on a CAD machine, and then ship them all the parts and they just cut it. A laser cutter. Donate their services. Or donate the machine. The laser cutter with the computer that's got the CAD program in it, so they're setting it all up. Otherwise, guess what I get to do to try to make the pieces? Because see this, well, this isn't necessarily how it's going to be wound, but see this represents the places that got to be cut, of just like one piece. And they're all going to be different accordingly because at the bottom they got to be wide taper to pick the material up quickly. And at the very top, it's got to be hardly no taper in order to facilitate accelerating the material to the highest possible velocity.
Right.
If you notice this thing, I got this cut off at it's 60 degrees.
Yeah.
This goblet went up all the way to 90 degrees. It broke off while I was trying to do it because I went in there and filled it up, and it was, when I hit the trigger, and it goes up, and all the material, and this is how the actual thing works. It counts on that very top one being zero taper, the very top motor. The rest of the bottom motors that drive it are tapered, so it pushes that material into the top motor for the purpose of accumulation.
Yeah.
To accumulate the material. The idea, so it will take it, pick it all up and accumulate it at the top, and to a point where where the motor underneath it speeds up to a point where it pushes it out, and what it creates is a pulsing effect. So it comes up, it accumulates, and then escapes. Does its job, comes back down. So while it's doing its job, everything, it's like those rocks, as soon as it leaves, it's in free flight. It's no longer attached to the thing. So that's the other thing that makes it work. It's in free flight.
Yeah.
It's of its own inertia and momentum. Okay? Momentum is the right word because inertia truly means stopped. But now it means frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference, meaning we're all moving at the same speed. Anyway, so now we get this material in free flight coming across the centripetal zone. It can't help but want to get out of the way. So just like I demonstrated right there. You can take the same effect and increase the velocity that it's going across that zone, and you have some serious power.
Sabrina says it's all fun and games till somebody gets your eye poked out.
Oh, you're talking about this demonstrating this accelerator thing. Or demonstrating.
Right. Sabrina says,
actually, this is nothing. So demonstrating the Euler force.
Right.
And the centrifugal force and centripetal force. The centrifugal Euler force is a result of the centrifugal force working on the centripetal zone, which is not 90 degrees to the direction of force. I guess is the best way. There might be a better way to describe it. But, anyway, so the result is the material migrates. It migrates in the direction of the wider taper. So,
Well,
but anyway, that's a great demonstration, huh?
yeah. Dangerous, but effective.
You know what I can do? I could change this bolt out for a longer bolt or a piece of all thread and put a hole in the top of this, so it'll do that. So I can turn it on and it just does that. And then I can put material in it and have it do this.
Yeah. Well, that would at least help guide the rocks down instead of out as much.
Yeah, but you saw how they came down already.
Yeah.
The fact that they hit the centripetal zone redirected the rock. a song I wrote, Friday 13th song.
You need to get 2 pieces of plexiglass, one red, one blue, or one green and one blue, or something like that, on that revolving lamp right there.
Oh, yeah.
Put a piece of 2 different colored plexiglasses on it,
Yeah.
one on each side.
We're going to turn this on one time tonight. I need another one up there. Something else, some other color.
I like red and blue together.
Yeah, red and blue would be good.
I mean, not flashing, of course. Red and blue flashing lights I don't like.
Oh, but that would be red and blue flashing.
Yeah, well,
Slow.
that's a little different.
Slow flashing.
Yeah.
All right, well, here. Battery getting low. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Here, it's time to shut this off anyway. Sabrina, come and say goodnight from everybody. Honey. Dragon? Good. Yeah. Good night, everybody. Yeah. This has been another, well, it's been an episode of, well, whatever. Sabrina's Friday Mixer Party. Come, welcome. Sabrina wants you to come and visit, by the way. Come and see us. If you're smart, we'll talk about stuff. If you're not smart, we'll still talk about stuff.
That's it.
If you're smart, we'll talk about stuff, smart stuff. If you're not smart, we'll talk about dumb stuff. How about that? For me, either way, it's fun. And Sabrina likes the company. Huh, don't she? Yeah, here, put this way at the camera. 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 Camera's this way.
Showing them your better side, Sabrina?
No, she says the light's this way.
Showing them that.
Move the camera.